It is now nearly 3 weeks that the farmers have been agitating at Delhi seeking repeal of the farm laws. Now, what are the 3 laws that they are opposed to? These 3 laws are the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act, the Farmers Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act, and the third one is the Essential Commodities Act. The Parliament has passed these bills in September, on September 27 to be precise, and the President has given his approval also for the same. Now, why should the farmers oppose these 3 bills which the government claims that they are for the good of the farmers and for the good of the nation? Farmers are afraid of certain security issues here. One is the financial stability. The second one is an assurance about, because this first one particularly, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act, this doesn't assure them of MSP, they say. Though the government claims that the minimum support price will be there and it shall continue to be there, farmers say there is no guarantee of that. Now, there is no guarantee of it because they are afraid that the private players who enter into this market slowly may take control of the full market, and the MSP may withdraw later, and the government which is procuring their goods now, their produce now, may withdraw from the scene, if not immediately, at a later time, say maybe a year later, 2-3 years later. As the private players' control over the market increases and the farmer starts depending more on these people, then they may reduce the prices. Initially, they may offer him more than the MSP. Say, if the government fixes the price at say 1,000 rupees, they might offer him 1,500, 2,000 rupees or so. And mind you, every year this MSP is fixed by the government and no one can buy the produce below the price. It has to be above that, not below. The farmers now say, if this law comes into force, when this comes into this act comes into force, then the private players may not give the MSP and they may give less. Initially, they might to lure the farmers and to give them or extend them the feel-good factor, but later they may not. So they are afraid that MSP part which is very essential for their existence, may go away completely in future. Despite government assurance, they are saying that because it is not guaranteed in the act. Government says it continues, but they are not sure whether this word will be kept in future. That is why they are opposing the. Now coming to the second law of the reforms, it says the Farmers Agreement on Price Assurance Farm Services Act. Right. It's all about empowerment and protection. That's how the government puts it. But here the farmers have several doubts, and valid ones it seems, going by the law that has been enacted now. Farmers say when they enter into a contract farming, as this clause provides for, they seek certain assurances. And they say these assurances are not forthcoming. Now, suppose there's a village of 10 farmers. All the 10 farmers enter into a contract with a firm, with a private party, to produce a certain product. Could be potato, could be wheat, could be maize, any such thing. They even take some advance from them for raising the crop and for their agricultural activity. They say they take about say 20%, 30% of the price that they expect to land with later when they sell their produce. It's all contracted. So it's clearly in black and white and in writing, and they take this advance and go ahead and do the farming. Once when the produce comes out, and when this buyer comes and says, look, this quality is not good, I can't take this, you can't handle this, so I'm withdrawing from it. Where is the guarantee for the farmer there? This is what he is afraid of. Or another, in putting it in another way, suppose there is this much amount of produce that is there. Farmer produces say 2 quintals or 3 quintals, 5 quintals up. This is less than the contracted one. the company has to buy it, they buy it. But if the farmer produces more, because he has contracted his field to them, the farmer produces more, the company will take away the whole thing. If it is less, farmer has got nothing to lose, but if it is more, farmer loses the whole profit on that, and the company takes it away. Suppose there is a dispute. In case there is a dispute, then what is the farmer supposed to do? What is the redressal mechanism? Now government says there will be an SDM, you go to the SDM shall. But the farmers insist on knocking the court's door. They say we go to a court, not to the SDM. Because SDM is an executive officer. An executive authority of the government cannot replace a court. He cannot be a legal authority over it and sit judge on the whole matter. So farmers seek a greater assurance here. Not even assurance, they say simply remove this, we don't want this. This kind of a clause. Government says, no, you have an upper hand and the private buyer has no term to dictate you anything. Now, the farmer says, if there is a dispute, where shall I go? What shall I do? Government says go to the SDM, but he is refusing to do that because he seeks a court's intervention, not that of the SDM, who is an executive authority. But farmer is more afraid of one particular clause which is inserted here, and that is one of the clauses which says, no civil court shall have jurisdiction to entertain any suit or proceedings in respect of any matter, the cognizance of which can be taken and disposed of by any authority empowered by or under this act or the rules made thereunder. Now, who will enter into any kind of a contract if they are not assured of any legal protection? Here this particular clause takes away that legal protection from them. Farmers hence do not want this law also to be there. Now the third one is the Essential Commodities Act. Now Essential Commodities Act is there since long in this country, and it protects the people, not just the farmers, because farmer is also a consumer at one point of time in his life. So this Essential Commodities Act assures you that the prices are under control. Now if the Essential Commodities Act is amended or it goes away, then all the food grains, oils, pulses, of course vegetables, it's always there, these things do not fall under any government control, and only the private player will have control over them, because he can store them and he can take out the product from his cold storages whenever he wants to and then sell it. But suppose there is no produce in the market, there is no potato, no onion, no pulses in the market, say for a month or two, there is a huge shortage, artificially induced and created shortage. What happens next? We have all seen, just before the elections, we have seen several times in the past how the prices of potato and onion have shot up. Onions have gone up to say 200, 250 rupees per kilo. And there have been thefts in the fields of the farmers where potato and onion sacks were lying to be taken home. So how to avoid such a situation? Farmers do not have any assurance from the government. In fact, it doesn't assure you anything. It takes away all kinds of protection given to the farmers and to the people. This is the problem with this new act. These laws take away government's role completely. Over a period, it will be the private players that will be in command of the situation, and it is not just the farmers but also the consumers, regular other consumers, who are also going to be affected. That is why farmers are protected now. Now, if we say why only these farmers from this particular Jat belt, Jat land of Haryana, Punjab and Western UP who are agitating and not others? Well, these follow Tikait line, we can say, and broadly speaking, and the rest of the farmers may follow Sharad Joshi line, which is all for open markets and private players' role to benefit them. There is a difference. Yes, as of now, it is only these people who are agitating, not the entire country. All political parties have got into that. That's a different issue. Whether all farmers throughout the country will join hands is to be seen. But for the time being, these farmers are there and they will be there for long. They have come fully prepared. They have come prepared for the long haul and they are going to continue the struggle. Let's see the fallout later. That's it for now.